So Pro Football Focus, analytics-driven website, ranked the highest and lowest rookies from the Browns preseason. 60 is average. Highest graded rookie in the preseason, Richard LeCounte, 75.7. That grades out to be starter quality. Lowest was Marvin Wilson, 29.9. That was the tackle that the Browns paid a little extra as an undrafted free agent. They did not sign him back to the practice squad after he was let go on cutdown day. So Dan Labbe, Richard LeCounte grades out as a starter. He looks like he can play, and they got him in the 5th round.
Yeah, to me, this is an example of the Browns betting on kind of talent, right? Betting on upside and betting on talent. They did it with Donovan Peoples-Jones, who just tested through the roof and was a highly recruited kid. And Richard LeCounte was sort of the same thing. There was a battle for him when he was in high school. I can't remember if he was a 4 or 5 star, but he was a very highly rated recruit. He ends up going to Georgia. Had he not gotten in that bike accident his last year there, he probably would have been a guy who would have gone higher. But I think there was some concerns about his health. But Andrew Berry and this front office are going to bet on testing. They're going to bet on athleticism. They're going to bet on that upside. And with LeCounte, it seems like it's going to work out, and he becomes an important figure if Grant Delpit can't go early in the year, or even if at the end of the season, when you've got to make some tough decisions on a guy like a Ronnie Harrison who heads to free agency, Richard LeCounte becomes a guy on a really reasonable contract for the next 3 years after this year that you're going to be able to plug into that defense and help you still have a good unit out there.
People who watch the show regularly are probably getting sick of me making this point, but I'm going to make it again anyway. The way that Andrew Berry and the front office are finding guys in the 6th, 5th, 6th, 7th round that can play, it's impressive, and it indicates to me they know the quote-unquote type of player that they're looking for. They're not going to ask him to do X, but he can do A, B, and C, and that's what we need in our system. Would you agree? Because it's refreshing to find the Browns getting these guys late in drafts. It's usually teams like the Ravens and the Steelers, who are perennially good, that find guys late in the draft that can play for them.
I mean, you nailed it. When you know exactly what you want and you know what you want a player to do in your system, you can identify exactly the type of player you want. And so there's kind of 2 things at work here. The first is that part of it, and that ability to say, hey, this is a 5th or 6th round pick, or, they haven't made a 7th round pick yet, but I'm sure they'd approach it the same way. We want guys who test well, who are athletic, who have a bunch of potential upside. We want those guys, and we know how they fit in this defense or on the offense. And then the other part of it is this roster has been built up. You don't need these guys to come in and start right away for you. I asked Kevin Stefanski, they kept every draft pick from the last 2 years on their 53-man roster this year. And I asked him, is that sort of a philosophy that you're not going to give up on guys? You're going to draft and develop. And kind of said, yeah, I mean, we're going to trust our scouting process. We're going to trust what we do. And then it's our jobs as coaches to bring these guys in and develop them. And I think this organization is going to be patient with their draft picks and let them grow.